This is the United States Military Academy. This is the Patriot League on ESPN. Welcome to West Point, everyone. I'm Nikolai Busko. Thank you for joining us as the Army men's soccer team hosts Lafayette. Both teams feel happy to turn the page on September after this game. This month has not served either one of them well. While a tie today may feel like a signal of progress for both sides, they each need a win. Kickoff temperature is 71 degrees. We do expect a bit of a drizzle today, but I don't think it's going to get incredibly bad. The field is still in pretty good shape. It has not been raining all morning. Both teams will need every single piece of luck on that field as they can, as both teams, they have some commonalities. They're just trying to get better. Presumably, more is expected of them. We talked about growing pains, but again, more is expected of those guys. Not sure Army has worn black shirts with white shorts this season. Definitely looks a little bit different, as right now the Black Knights just trying to change their luck. The first half has not been the problem, it's been the second. Army West Point's top priority is to create leaders prepared to fight with the nation's battles. As the world's preeminent leadership institution, the Academy focuses on producing people who exude trust, accountability, passion, integrity, and empathy. To learn more, visit GoArmyWestPoint.com. I think you saw that on display last night at Gillis Fieldhouse as Army beat Navy in 5 sets in a volleyball thriller. The match took 2 hours, 50 minutes. That's like a Yankees-Red Sox game at Fenway. It takes 4 hours. Yes, people are still talking about that volley match today. Navy is now 0-12 in volleyball this year, but it might be the best 0-12 team of any sport in the country. They played hard, but Army found a way to break through after winning the first 2 sets and just hanging on for dear life at the end. Yep, that ball's going to be wet today, I think. So this game already has a bit of a snarl to it. Both teams, though, have to play metered and measured, especially with how tough the sledding they've had this year, especially Army. Vida has had to throw the ball a lot today. Luckily, he's not on a pitch count. This man has had a lot on his mind, I'm sure, recently. Brian Plotkin's team has played well in the first half, not in the second half lately. What can they do differently? What can he do differently? He's changed the starting 11 a little bit. We'll see if that creates a new energy. Already 4 fouls in this one after just 8.5 minutes. That's a lot. Lazeski. Good ball, was aiming for Liebig, but it goes through him. Right church, wrong pew. Meyer wishes he could grow an extra toe, but instead it's Maglione working it back to Huff. Is that a light blue or a powder blue that Huff is wearing? Yeah, you can't wear towels. He's not a quarterback, so he can't have one on the field. That ball is going to be a little bit slippery today. You know, he keeps doing that with his shirt with the ball. I don't know how much good it's going to do when he gets to the middle of the first half, unless he changes his shirt or something. 5 fouls in the first 13 minutes, 4 by Army. Again, that's a lot. Maglione tries to knock it down, but the leg does not easily bend that way. There hasn't been much continuity of possession for either team. Not much flow to this. The trenches have been dug, and the garden hoses have started filling them with water. Looking for Luskin, who's wandering in. Luskin towards a goal. It goes harmlessly to Huff, who made a great handle. And because the field is not perfectly dry, it's not a bad idea today to kick it into the ground a little bit to see what kind of bounce you get. To borrow a line from Caddyshack 2, hit it long, but hit it short. Jeff Fiegels would have been impressed with the hang time there. Looks like the rain has intensified a bit. I see more umbrellas opening. It looked like everybody had crowded around the midfield circle. It is one of the soccer game. It looked like they're going to play duck, duck, goose for a minute. And we've got a whistle, and I think the elevator door is about to open for the first time today. Nope, it looks like the elevator is just arriving. Those are blue shoes he's got, but they're not blue suede shoes. I don't expect Ennis to get it on frame from here. This is an awfully long way from home. But there's a conga line forming right edge of the box. Vida's still trying to dry off that ball, but I think the shirt might be more wet, or at least filled with more perspiration and just natural moisture of the ball at this point. West Point, in partnership with Highland Falls and the town of Highlands, presents National Night Out, happening Tuesday from 5 to 8 on West Point Highway in front of the Visitor Control Center. Among the things planned for the evening, the Benny Havens Band, a helicopter display, and canine demonstrations. So that's on Tuesday from 5 to 8. He looks concerned, and I don't blame him. Team has not played poorly, but it has not generated offense consistently today. I see umbrellas popping back up again. I have to offer this disclaimer wherever I go because people care about my own stuff. I'm inside, and it's not blowing in. 19 seconds left. And I'm not sure what the intent of that ball was.
3, 2, 1, 0. Fans at halftime here at Malek Stadium.
Well, I'm not going to deceive you. That was not a particularly exciting first half. Both teams playing things close to the vest. They've committed themselves defensively. But we've documented the troubles that these teams both have had in the second half this season. I again remind people that Army has lost every game it has played since the win against Air Force. And in the last 3 games, they've actually had the lead at some point in the second half, only to lose it. It is my hope that Brian Plotkin and Dennis Bond are able to say the right things so we have a great second half. Both teams need a win. But at the half, here at West Point, it's Army 0, Lafayette 0. From the United States Military Academy, this is the Patriot League on ESPN. Total fouls, the Black Knights with 8, the Leopards with 3. Yeah, this was basketball. Jack Meyer will be in foul trouble for Army. He's got 3 of those fouls. Again, it was not an appetizing first half. That's the most gentle way that I can put it. The good news, though, is that both teams have an opportunity to exercise some second half demons as we go forward here. One more time, Army has lost 5 games in a row since beating Air Force about a month ago. In those 5 games, they've lost each by 1 goal. They have not trailed at halftime in any of them. And in the last 3 games, they've actually led at some point in the second half, whether to start or later. Can they complete the mission? Can they get it done today? This is such an important 45 minutes for both teams. Not saying the loser of this game, if there is a loser, is finished for the rest of the way. No, there's several games left for both teams, but it does feel like it gets vertical in a hurry if someone loses this one. The team that wins, there'll be a sense of relief, there'll be a sense of accomplishment, but more work is going to remain. Huff gets ready to tee off at hole number 10. As there's something different right now here in the second half. The energy has clearly changed. Both teams playing with a sense of urgency right now. And justifiably so. Off a noggin, and then a foot. The foot belongs to Aidlet. Nice disco moves by Luskin, but he lost the ball. Aidlet lets it loose. Scores! And the Leopards, their spots are glowing. They're in front of goal to 0. I think it was Wayne Gretzky who once said, you don't score on 100% of the shots you don't take. The Leopards finally shot it. And at least for the moment, Army's second half struggles continue. Huff can pick it up if he wants. He'll wait, does a bit of a Captain Morgan pose, and decides to pick up the ball. He has not made a save yet today, hasn't had to. And a big question right now for the Leopards, what posture will they adopt now that they have the lead? I'm sure at many levels, it's still an untenable one. They've struggled in the second half lately, too. They have to be careful, Lafayette. They don't just sit back and essentially park the bus, which is a term that's used a lot in this sport, especially overseas. They have to continue to attack. The wheels must be turning inside that man's head right now. And this one's a rare shank by Huff that lands somewhere outside in the village. And we've got a whistle, and Ennis has been told he can advance to Marvin Gardens. Bambata can't clear it, second time he does. A human pogo stick was looking for Thomas, who goes down like a sack of potatoes, and Army gets a free kick. Dennis Bond still directing traffic. And this will be the 30th throw into the game for Vida, who is still trying to dry off that ball. Did he change shirts at halftime? Ball is splattered like jello on the wall. And it'll be cleared now by Houlihan. He's telling everybody to use their heads, which is normally a good thing, especially in soccer. Headed score! Nicholas Liebig was attentive to the command of Carter Houlihan. And the Leopards, their spots are now in neon. They lead 2-0. So Army finds itself in a deep hole here. Army will continue on here, just trying to get better. There was a volleyball coach a few weeks ago that said you either win or you learn. What has Army learned so far today? And it's their time to reverse things here in short order. Lee booms this one. Luckily, it does not reach the parking lot. Not everyone's insurance agent has Saturday hours. Tries to chip, but there's no dip. It's like an awkward high school dance out there. Looking for Thomas. Ennis, no, pardon me. It's Krieger. Krieger. Is there an opening on the 110 hurdles unit for Army? That looked good. He goes down in a heap with Houlihan. Collectively, Army needs to find its heads before it's too late. The engine's running, but so's the meter. 18 minutes left. Army trailing 2-0. Cooper looking for Zai. But the field is not wide enough. We're not in the CFL. Just enough time to call the insurance agent. Army trailing 2-0. Bambala, onside play. Tries to knock it down. Headed it back. And swinging and missing was Thomas. Rebound, score! Krieger! Army is not dead yet. It's 2-1. I think Thomas missed it, but Krieger did not give up on the play. And apparently, the Black Knights have said to borrow a line from Rocky Balboa, I ain't hear no bell. The conga line has formed right at the 18. Hadley lets it rip. Huff finds it in the rain. Ronald Zai looks like he's looking to catch a bus out of town. Waiting patiently for the signal from Carter. Army wants the ball, but the assistant says no. This was baseball. Vida would have passed 100 pitches a long time ago. We'll slice the apple now for Ennis. Hadley. Now it's a mosh pit in front, and Lafayette clear it. 2 minutes separating Lafayette from a hard-fought victory on the road. 2 minutes separating Army from losing its 6th straight. Houlihan is telling everybody to go down to the corner. Down on the corner, out in the street. If you know the lyrics, it's an oldie but a goodie. The window for Army has closed. The question is the glass bulletproof? 15 to go. Now or never for Army.
10,
Kick downfield by Lazuski.
7,
Camargo
6, 5,
has to let it go real fast.
3, 2, 1.
Kicked off of Krieger, and this one is over. Lafayette gets 2 goals in the second half and hangs on for a 2-1 victory.
We thank you for your attendance in today's
For the 6th consecutive game, Army does not trail at halftime, but loses the game in the second half. It feels like Brian Plotkin is Bill Murray from Groundhog Day, and we're all watching the same movie. They tell me that lunch has turned into the early bird special today, so I gotta go. For Joe Beckerly, I'm Nikolai Busko. This is the Patriot League on ESPN.